Welcome back, Truth Seeker. October 9th, 2019. They have released the name of the shooter in Germany of the synagogue on Yom Kippur, the most important holy day on the Jewish calendar. It's the Day of Atonement for your sins. And look at the name of the shooter, Stephan Balliet, which has perfect Gematria overlap with Yom Kippur. And again, Gematria, a Jewish practice which comes from Kabbalah. In Kabbalah's Book of Formation, it's stated God created the world with letters, numbers, and words. And the people who play God over our lives every single day, governments, media, military, they work by this code every single day. All propaganda in the news to program the masses is contrived this way every single day without exception. Every single day. Can't emphasize it enough. And in light of this shooting coming on October 9th, again, shooting sums to 109. Recall some examples from earlier this year that we covered. You had the Bowe synagogue shooting where the shooter got 109 federal charges. This was outside of San Diego, California, April 27th, 2018. We talked about the 109 charges, shooting. And, YouTube, this video right now, I'm just letting you know, this video right now presenting this information violates the terms of service for YouTube because my video on this, the 109 charges, was deleted by YouTube. And all I pointed out was the pattern of shooting in 109, which is documented very well in my book in the chapter that's over 100 pages long on shootings by the numbers. Also, you had another story from this past year, July 28, 2019. You had a drive-by shooting at a synagogue in Florida. The man shot Yosef Lipschultz. His name equals 213, like drive-by shooting. Let's not forget that Tupac Shakur died 213 days after the release of his last album, All Eyes on Me, on 213, supposedly from complications by a drive-by shooting. It's another subject. But the man who was shot, his full name, it also summed to 109. And I said, there it is again, 109 shooting. So realize, these are the last two synagogue shootings in the news. The Florida drive-by and the Bowe synagogue shooting outside of San Diego. Both 109 coded into both. And now you get another synagogue shooting on 109 Yom Kippur. And what I should have connected back then that I'm connecting the dot now is, Yom Kippur falls on October 9th. So no wonder they were coding 109 and shooting this year at synagogue shootings. And then this one comes in Germany, and they're talking about anti-Semitism. And, obviously those things have this historical connection through World War II and the Nazis. And they said today's shooter, Stephan Balliet, who has the same gematria as Yom Kippur, they say he's a neo-Nazi, which equals 33, like how the Nazis came to power in 33. So here we can just read about it. In the first sentence, you get the programming point that they want. Stephan Balliet is the suspect in an anti-Semitic attack on a synagogue and a shooting at a Turkish kebab shop. Now, that's the joke, right? Because what are the headlines this morning? What are the headlines besides the shooting? What's the other major headline? This is CNN's front page this morning. Turkey launches attack on U.S. allies. Right next to it, 2 killed in shooting near synagogue in Germany. And now the updated details are that it was at a Turkish kebab shop in Halle, Germany, which equals 58, like how today has 58 date numerology. Like how Pittsburgh equals 58, you had another big mass shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue about a year ago. Turkish kebab shop in Halle, Germany that left 2 people dead and 2 others injured on October 9, 2019. The German newspaper has identified Balliet as a neo-Nazi. Balliet was streaming live video on Twitch. So this is similar to how you had the guy streaming on Facebook at the 2 mosque shootings on March 15, 2019 on the Ides of March. Now it's Twitch. For 35 minutes during the incident in the East German city. Heavy has watched the video but is not posting it in this report. The video shows Balliet was not able to get into the synagogue where about 70 people were inside for Yom Kippur services. The 27-year-old gunman was wearing a helmet equipped with a camera was dressed in military or police-style uniform and was armed with multiple long rifles. The video shows he had ammunition and possible explosive devices inside his car. Same story at the mosque shootings, again on the Eidza March in Christchurch. Yom Kippur is Judaism's holiest day. Prior to his attempt to enter the synagogue, Balliet addressed his camera during the live stream and made anti-Semitic remarks in English. Police said there was only one shooter in the incident after earlier reports indicated there were possibly 2 gunmen. And isn't that always the same in the mass shooting? Always reports of multiple gunmen. It was the same thing with the Christchurch shooting. You know, it's the same thing every single time. Same tired details. Everything syncs up by the numbers. Always reports of multiple shooters. It ends up just being one. It's just par for the course every time, yet somehow everyone seems to dismiss all of the red flags and chalk everything up as coincidence. That's the programming. This same mainstream media programs that word coincidence. So again, you get a shooting on 109, 10/9. Comes on a date with 38 numerology, 10 plus 9 plus 19, 38. Comes on the day leaving 83 days left in the year. Germany equals 83 and 38. Murder equals 83 and 38. Halle, the name of the town, equals 38. In our 4 base ciphers, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Halle and death are the exact same in all 4. And today's date also has 58 numerology. Halle, Germany, 58. 2 dead. When you write out 2, it equals 58. Freemasonry, Rosicrucian, Secret Society, they're all 58. The biggest synagogue shooting that's in people's minds is the Tree of Life synagogue shooting, Tree of Life, which has to do with Kabbalah, just like this code of letters and numbers. Remember, they practice an active shooter drill at that synagogue shortly before it happened. Pittsburgh equals 58. And again, all the world leaders come out and use the term anti-Semitism. That's what the story's really about, to further program the masses with that term, anti-Semitism, which is a term that applies to Semitic people. And if you look up the definition of Semitic, it doesn't apply to most Jewish people, which is really interesting. So it would apply to quite a few Turkish people. But again, this is mockery. You know, a Turkish kebab shooting. And remember, military equals 109, just like how you have a military offensive in Turkey the day of a shooting in Germany, shooting 109. They really do every single day treat the masses like they're brain dead, like it's a flat line, and somehow they get away with it. So again, Bowe, the synagogue shooting, the man got 109 charges. I don't care if YouTube deletes the channel again, I'll make another one. They already deleted the channel for exposing this last time. The 109 charges came on May 9th, the 129th day of the year. Synagogue equals 129. The Rabbi Yisrael Goldstein, the leader of the Bowe synagogue where this happened, equals 129. The name of the shooter at that synagogue, John Earnest, 129. John Earnest, the synagogue shooter who got 109 federal charges on the 129th day of the year, where the rabbi, his name equaled 129. You know? Somewhere in some YouTube corporate office, they're like, this is hate speech, this is hate speech. Exposing the knowledge of the tribe is hate speech. Sorry, if you think this is hate speech, you are a fucking enemy of everything. You must hate the world to call my work hate speech, you know. And if you've read the Talmud, it's written by people who hate the world, you know. Everybody but the chosen ones are considered animals. So, anyway. And again, the recent drive-by shooting in Florida at the synagogue, which was on a date with 74 numerology, English, Gematria, Jewish, Masonic, occult, all 74. But his full name was 109. So, anyway, there was that story. The Tree of Life shooting, they ended up saying there were 10 shot, just like how there's 10 Sephiro on the Tree of Life. When you write out 10, it's 39, like synagogue, like October. Here we are in October a year later. CNN posted this at 3:22. Remember, 3:22, Genesis 3:22, which talks about the Tree of Life. Abrahamic religions, which is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, 3:22. Ancient mystery religions, which is... Hold on, let me finish typing it. 3:22, same cipher, which is Kabbalah, Hermeticism, alchemy, Kundalini, etc. So 10. And at first they started with 4. They start with 4 a lot. At least 4 dead in synagogue shooting. It went up to 10. They gave this shooter 44 charges. Remember that he got 44 federal charges. The Pittsburgh shooter, 44 federal charges. And again, just like the Poway shooter got 109 charges, Pittsburgh shooter got 44 charges. Again, this is why you want to know the 4 base ciphers, because you see how they do it. They did that big ritual in Colorado this year where they had locked down all the school districts just before the anniversary of the Columbine shooting. That was on the 107th day of the year. A whole lot of 107 riddles there. 37 in shooting. All these numbers get coded into shootings again and again. So, the Poway shooting outside of San Diego 74, like killing, like Jewish, like Masonic, like occult, like Gematria, like English. The shooter in Pittsburgh was said to be Robert Bowers, who got the 44 charges. Here, I'll just type it in. Robert Bowers, 44 charges. So there it is. Robert Bowers indicted on 44 counts after the Tree of Life synagogue shooting. And then again, you got the Florida shooting on the date with 74 numerology. Florida also happens to sum to 38, Florida's 38, Jews 38, when you use the roll for S it is. Killings 38, murders 38, just like how today has the 38 date numerology. And again, same repetitive patterns. You just start to recognize how the same numbers show up every single time. San Diego's also 38, case in point. So these are the last 2 shootings before the latest. And the last shooting came during Passover in Poway. Passover's 101, the 26th prime. Poway's 26. And I believe it was 26 weeks. Did I write it down? It was 26 weeks and 1 day after the Pittsburgh shooting as well. 183 days, order out of chaos. 183, the Masonic motto. So, anyway, it's just undeniable what's really going on here. And recall, after the Poway shooting, they tried to raise $118,000. And we were saying, watch August 11th, Yom Kippur, the day to remember the destruction of the 2 temples, also the Muslim day of sacrifice. We were keeping our eye on Temple Mount on August 11th. And what happened on Temple Mount on August 11th? The Muslim worshippers got tear gas, 118, sprayed on them. You see how tear gas is also 71 and 26? Look at Temple, 71, 26. On August 11th, 118. All year we said, watch Temple Mount, August 11th. Trying to raise $118,000 after the Poway shooting. Plus a million other things we covered last year. So, see if YouTube has any cojones or if they'll take this video down for hate speech, even though there's not a lick of it in here. Just nothing but facts. You can't spread facts on YouTube. Not if it goes against the protected group. The protected group who's allowed to, do whatever they want. So, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. I think I made my point. Till next time, truth seekers.